Welcome back, folks. You're watching the CBN News Channel. Vice President Mike Pence is stumping for the two GOP Georgia senators heading toward a runoff election in just a few weeks. Pence was at a rally in Columbus where supporters cheered for incumbent Republican Senators David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler. His goal to energize the base to get them to the polls. Both races are extremely close against Democrats Raphael Warnock and Jon Ossoff, and a lot is at stake. If the GOP loses these two seats, the balance of power in Washington will shift to the Democrats. Pence highlighted major accomplishments, giving the two senators credit. Take a listen.
This week, America witnessed the beginning of the end of the coronavirus pandemic. We made history, and the first coronavirus vaccine is being administered in every state in the union. And David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler were there every single day, putting the health of Georgia first. If his people, who are called by his name, will humble themselves and pray and turn, that he'll do like he's always done in the long and storied history of America. He'll hear from heaven, and he'll heal this land.
Yesterday, Pence urged the crowd to vote despite doubts they have about the accuracy of the November election, promising those who vote via absentee will have their ballots counted and that there will be increased election security. Our Mark Martin spoke with Jason Yates of My Faith Votes about their work in Georgia and overall to get people to the polls and vote according to their beliefs. Here's that interview.
Joining us now is Jason Yates with My Faith Votes to talk about the group's work in Georgia. Welcome, Jason.
Thanks so much, Mark.
Your group believes this runoff is not only important to Georgia, but the nation. Besides determining control of the Senate, why does it matter so much?
Yeah, it really matters because when you look at this point in history, this is really the first time that we have an election that is really going to determine in a special way the projection of our nation. And when you look at the different platforms of the parties and look at what's at stake and what they stand for, we just believe that from a faith-based perspective, there's a lot at stake around our values, around where we stand for abortion, where we would take things with the Supreme Court. And it matters. And we don't believe either party should necessarily have full control of taking things more from a power perspective, but that's what we see at stake here, and what's being threatened really from different party platforms.
Tell us about your efforts there in Georgia.
Yeah, we have a lot that we have planned. First, we have a great effort of volunteers from across the nation. We have over 5,000 volunteers that are doing a number of things, primarily writing handwritten postcard messages, sending them to Georgia voters, encouraging them to vote and vote from a place that honors God and honors our biblical values. We're doing that. We are also doing a whole digital marketing campaign called It's Time to Choose, choosing what's the direction of our nation, where are we headed, and what do they want to see happen, not only in Georgia, but for the nation for years to come. And finally, we are doing a media campaign on radio, on TV, in the newspapers, with messages about what's happening with this election and what people need to know in order to vote.
Jason, there are people of faith supporting both candidates. How does faith override politics in this case and really where we are as a nation?
Yeah, I think our faith certainly has something essential to contribute to politics. We need to look at what are the values that we stand for. How do we think of life? How do we think of our ability to practice our religion? How do we think about how the government treats people within its communities? It's not easy decisions, and sometimes binary choices are tough. And so we are calling people to pray, to really explore the way candidates, what they represent and how they think about the issues, think biblically about those issues, and pray about those, and then make the very best decision. We know not everybody's going to vote in the exact same way, but I think if they are praying, thinking, and then voting, and voting from a biblical worldview, we'll get God-honoring outcomes.
All right, Jason Yates with My Faith Votes. Thanks for your time, Jason.
Appreciate it, Mark. Thanks.